Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. You know, I've been sharing with you for the past 10 years about the goodness and the blessings and the wonderfulness of life that we as a people, and I'm talking about all of us, I'm not talking about race or anything, I'm talking about human beings, could be enjoying. And I want to share with you. Let me put some on your mind. You know how you feel if you go to Disney World or Disneyland and you start seeing all of the beautiful things that you've seen on pages and on television, and all of a sudden it's there, almost touchable. You know how good it makes you feel? You know how it makes you feel when you sit up, maybe you watch TV or something, and the news broadcast indicates that there was just a normal person working, and somebody came up and gave them a gift of a huge amount of money, something that would make you excited if they gave it to you, and how good it makes you feel. And can't you just feel the excitement and the joy in that one person that feels it? Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. What about if the whole nation could feel the excitement that you feel when you go to Disneyland or go to Disney World? What if the whole nation could feel that same excitement, that same joy that one individual feels when some extension of kindness is given to them in the form of something they really can use? Woo! Wouldn't that be wonderful? Wouldn't that be wonderful? Well, to me, it would be absolutely wonderful. And see, ladies and gentlemen, that's why when I talk to you about observing presidential candidates, first of all, focusing on yourself. Who are you and what do you really want? Because your own standards, your own values, that determines where you're at. That determines where you go. And so, ladies and gentlemen, you know, sometimes when I speak to you, I think I am speaking directly from God. That don't mean that I'm God. No. It just means that the love that I understand from God, that I speak to you, it makes me feel that it got to be come from God, because I don't hear that kind of love anyplace. I see expressions of kindness and love when people are giving and sharing and all and caring. I see that. But that doesn't change things. That just makes a bandage. It makes something right for the moment. Well, we're talking about the long range thing. The long range things. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you this. When I talk to you about these candidates and these systems of government, I'm serious when I tell you they're no good. I'm serious when I tell you that they're just robbing you. I'm serious. And why am I serious? Because I know better. I know that God's plan is the most magnificent plan. And why is God's plan most magnificent? Because God designed it to be that way. And it's not happening that way because there's a thief running around, running the show, lying to you, the people, got you believing. You know, listen, you remember right now, you see how Donald Trump lie all the time? Now, most of you has to admit that Donald Trump is lying. But there are some people that believe everything that Donald Trump says is true. So that evil that's running all over this earth got people believing that it's true and has pulled them up together. And they are willing to do anything. They will lie, they will cheat, they will steal and cause you to do the same thing as you're trying to survive. They will engage in terror, and they will engage in war and kill and take stuff from other people. That's evil, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. I want you to know that all that you're killing and lying and stealing and all that for, and killing for, to get something, God has made it possible for you to have that and have the greatest joy. Now, don't let this desire to have power overwhelm you. You know, like Trump wants to have power. I'm just using Trump because he's a symbol now. He's put himself out front, and he's a symbol. Don't just try to, is this that important? That you have power? See, when you say you're trying to have power, you're competing with God. Because there is but one power. And that power is God. And I know those people who follow Trump and say they will kill for Trump. They don't know any better, but that's evil, ladies and gentlemen, and they will kill for Trump. And all of that is competition against God. But the true power is what you, the people, are going to do in honor. You see, God has made it so fantastic. Let me give you a little bit synopsis of it, okay? In thinking of his wonderful children, forgive me for saying his, because I don't know whether God is a woman, a man, or anything like that. All I know is God is a spirit and real. So anytime I make a mistake and say his or her, y'all forgive me now, because God is a spirit. But in the contemplation, the design was such as this, that there would be an earth that's built, a magnificent earth that does all. I'm not going to try to describe to you, ladies and gentlemen, because you know as well as I do what it does. You're in different places, and where you're at, it does that too. And it does it all by the power of God. We didn't have to do anything, but we were coming. And that being understood, resources were made available above the earth, on the earth, in the earth. Some of it seen, some of it not seen. But it's designed and put there for all times, from the beginning to out throughout eternity, that whatever mankind can imagine, that together with their brotherhood, with their own hands, and the gifts that have been given to them. Oh, one most magnificent thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that it's been designed in such a way that each of you will play a part. Oh man, it got so good to me I jumped the gun. Let me take it back. The resources all in this earth, right? Now, all of a sudden, we're going to skip to the point where you come on the earth. You come on the earth. What do you need to stay here, to survive? You know, most of the stuff that you need, essential stuff, like air, oxygen, like blood, and all the ways to manipulate the body. That was given. Now your spirit is there. All of that is just given. But to maintain that body so that you can stay here for a while, there are certain essentials that are necessary for survival. And every human being on earth got it. Every human being on earth got it. And so, basically, it's food, clothing, and shelter. You need that. You need it. Everybody needs it. Even the naked people need it. Naked because they don't have it for one reason or another, but they need it. And so the resources have been made available. And you that need these things, hey, there's no better way to bring those things forth, to manifest those things than letting each of you participate in the process. It's like the football team. Some of you rate wide receiver, guards, tackle, quarterback, lineman, defensive this. You play the position that you've been given. Now, when I say given, that's inside of you that gives you your greatest pleasure. I'm going out for this. I'm going out for that. Why? Because that's you. Well, just like that's you, the various other occupations is represented in the rest of the people. They are gifts. They are your rewards that you give to one another in the process. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. You are creating food and clothing and shelter, and now you can go beyond that. Create education and health care, infrastructures, transportation, all the things that you can imagine. And you do it wonderfully. Somewhere in a book they call the Bible, I think they said that Jesus laid hands on the sick and they recovered. So that tells me that's a form of love, whether Jesus lived or not. I know how I feel about people sick. Oh my God, I don't want anybody to be sick. So I want those people who, I'm just saying I want this. Once the doors are open and these people are in those positions, it's not what I want, it's what they want. That's why they're in the positions. And they will be discovering whatever needs to be discovered in order to deal with the various sicknesses and diseases that bother us. And see, we are one body, so anytime anybody suffers from a cancer, we all suffer. Anytime anybody suffers from a headache, we all suffer. So we got these people in position that's dedicated. No, not to just make trash. We're not making trash anymore. Now we're doing the best because we represent God. Why? Because we know who we are. We are the creations of God, sons and daughters of God, using the power of God to do the things that God does. What is that? To create by what power? The power of love. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? There's no Republican, there's no Democrat, there's no American talking to you about anything like that. This is a gift that is coming directly to you from God. It is an opportunity that you can choose. Now, I guess, even though these are hints that if you can grow up and decide for God, which really is deciding for yourselves. Yeah, I dropped the hint that I wouldn't mind if you wrote my name in to the degree that I could actually get in a position to show you what I'm talking about. I'm not doing anything. You are the people. You are the power. You are the ones that would make God's world real. But I know you don't know anything about it. You know very little about it. It's been designed that way by the world that you're living in. Now, these resources in the United, just to get you some more substance, these United States, the continental borders within the United States, the resources, whatever they are that we can use, the way God's plan works is this. They are for the people. Now, right now, they have been stolen based upon the system that you live in. The system that you live on has made it legal and permitted you to be robbed. So most of the resources that's already known in the United States borders, most of them, not all of them, that are already known, that have already been discovered, they already have been stolen. They got somebody's name on it, and they got people who are benefiting from it because they got investments in it. That's the way the systems work. So we're not trying to punish anybody for operating within the scope of the system, but we're just trying to wake you up to let you know the crookedness of the system and give you an opportunity to grow up and be bigger than that system and create the greatest system, what you call it, the superior system of government, which is a system of God. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I guess I basically said to you what God is offering to you and has been for the past 40 years. Now, you know, in order for that to happen, you'd have to change your way of thinking. You'd have to say that you want better. You know what the Democrats have given you in the past, and you were not satisfied with that. You were not really satisfied with the Republicans. And you tried Donald Trump, and you're not satisfied with Donald Trump. And so rather than repeat any of these things that you have evidence that you're not satisfied with, try something different. Try something what your answers, the prayers that you have been sending up, answers rest in the solutions that have been proposed to you. And they're not just being proposed to you as somebody else that's going to do this for you, but that you're going to play an intricate part in it yourselves, and a part that you got power to really have some impact, and that it is essential. And that it all benefits. It brings everybody to the table. It makes everybody important, no one unimportant. And we need each other. And as a consequence, the rewards that we get in return, can't even measure it, ladies and gentlemen. Now, there's going to be some trouble ahead because we got a system that's designed to protect itself. A system of money that's designed to protect itself. And when you make the decision that you don't want to go the way we've been going, and that you want to try something new, you got the authority, even on the Constitution, to do that. But that's not really necessary. You got the authority from God to do that, to do what is right and not be bound by anything that's going to cause you pain and suffering. Democracy under the Republicans and Democrats and Donald Trump has caused you nothing but immense suffering. Oh yeah, there's been some relief for many, but the most of you, go through your towns and look at your houses falling down. Look at your infrastructure just rotting, while people are amassing money to be big shots and try to say they're a boss, and we the people suffering. No, man, no. God ain't playing that stuff no more. And I'm going to tell you what God is saying. You listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. If you believe anything in that Bible, something that wrote by somebody else talking to you about God, then you owe it to yourself to believe in a man that's talking to you about God. I ain't talking about what somebody wrote. You listening to me. I'm telling you. And I put my word up against anybody's word. I put my word up against John the Baptist and anybody else about God when it comes down to love. I can't speak about those times, but I can definitely speak about these. And so, ladies and gentlemen, having said that, I think I just cut it off. And I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.